President Trump has addressed the banning of Infowars by the Silicon Valley military-industrial empire. He writes, "Social media is totally discriminating against Republican conservative voices. Too many voices are being destroyed, some good and some bad, and that cannot be allowed to happen. Censorship is a very dangerous thing and absolutely impossible to police. If you're weeding out fake news, there's nothing so fake as CNN and MSNBC, and yet I do not ask that their sick behavior be removed. I get used to it and watch it with a grain of salt, or don't watch it at all." Even Bill Maher criticized the social media ban, saying that Alex Jones gets to speak. Meanwhile, the Washington Post, BuzzFeed, Politico, the New York Times, NBC, and the Associated Press, along with CNN, sued for the release of the names and home addresses of all of the Manafort jurors, in a move, according to Breitbart, that is both disturbing and almost unprecedented.
He's still gonna do it!
The mainstream media is truly jumping the shark. But first things first. Hello, my name is John Bowne. I've been working with Infowars for almost 7 years. Let me first explain who I am politically. I'm not on the left or the right. I'm not a racist or a white nationalist. I don't promote hate, and I can't be held responsible when some people can't handle the truth.
You want answers? I think I'm entitled. You want answers? I want the truth! You can't handle the truth!
I chose this middle road long ago to fight for our Bill of Rights and our Constitution and the survival of the American dream. After learning of the widespread foreign interests and internal corruption that has sought to destroy the free republic our ancestors paid for with genius, toil, and blood, and I mean all of our ancestors. Gradually, though, while we slept, our Bill of Rights was decimated by an unelected bureaucracy hell-bent on totalitarian domination. Today, tax-paying Americans are rats in a cage, enduring a globalist-controlled Federal Reserve, a Godzilla-level surveillance state, a mockery of property rights that creates civil asset forfeiture, unyielding treason by the power-mad and well-connected.
Maxine Waters is not only a traitor to our nation, but she's not right in the head. In fact, the only people who are crazier than Maxine Waters are the people who support her.
And impeachment, impeachment, impeachment. And I will fight every day until he is impeached.
Alphabet government agencies and the Mockingbird media Goliath colluding to overthrow our duly elected government, not to mention bone cancer causing and IQ dropping fluoride in our water, according to Harvard University. Yeah, they all sound like conspiracy theories, as the mainstream media would have us all believe, but unfortunately, it's all true. And now America is under the new totalitarianism, spearheaded by Google, Facebook, and all the other anti-American social media outlets, with a completely unconstitutional shadow banning followed by a full-on banning of alternative media. Americans can now return to their legalized propaganda fest of spun narratives like the outrageous watering down of a horrendous terror cell in New Mexico. Today, I read the now reigning publications as the left celebrates its boot-stomping control of our First Amendment introduced to Congress just 229 years ago. The hysterical left celebrates with more of their childish name-calling and disinformation.
But joining me now is Oliver Darcy, CNN senior media reporter, who's been leading the way on these questions about Alex Jones. Are Twitter's answers satisfying?
Well, one, it sounds kind of comical that he thinks that putting Alex Jones in a Twitter timeout for a week is going to really affect his behavior. Even the current policies that are put in place for reporting harassment, they don't seem to be working. And it's curious why, you know, he doesn't have any answers. He doesn't have any answers for today, right now. How can Twitter better affect the discourse on politics? And it's just kind of baffling, too.
Infecting the American public, rapidly destroying our most fundamental right penned by James Madison, the First Amendment. It reads, "Congress shall make no law respecting an establishment of religion or prohibiting the free exercise thereof or abridging the freedom of speech or of the press or the right of the people peaceably to assemble and to petition the government for a redress of grievances." Ironically, it is the very giants of technology Infowars has been warning you about for years that have used their corpracratic ties to defend their private and unelected branch of the United States government with total power over our First Amendment. Silicon Valley and its hubris-riddled leftist ideals have bamboozled the American citizen by making trillions, digitizing our First Amendment process, and hijacking the narrative, condemning those that would petition the government for a redress of our grievances.
People know what's true. They can smell it. You can't stop them from knowing that. You can't control their minds. You can only humiliate yourself and undermine your own authority by trying. Our childish billionaire overlords may be geniuses, they say they are, but they don't understand that. Someday soon they will learn, and that is a comforting thought at a time like this.
I'm not asking for a handout, as the left's wave of socialist Democrats would have us do with what is left of our tax dollars. I'm simply asking for the restoration of the Bill of Rights, as they are written, on their face, as they were intended. This is the America that deluded swine like Governor Cuomo have forgotten existed because he and his corporocratic cronies, both Democrat and Republican, have personally trampled what made America great.
We're not going to make America great again. It was never that great.
That kind of blew up in his face, so he said, "Oh, I didn't mean it, it's out of context." And then CNN and others go, no, America is bad. Well, that's what they're already teaching because they want to conquer the idea of free market. They want to make everybody think that America isn't theirs, that they couldn't be wealthy or successful or free or make their own choices, or that the potential of the American system is the most powerful potential the world's ever seen, and that we have been exceptional because of our ideals of rugged individualism.
The only way forward for the survival of the American Republic is that our rights are restored and the technocratic Frankenstein is finally brought down. There is no time left to sleep, America. The halls of freedom have been invaded, and Lady Liberty is as vulnerable as she was during the infancy of this republic. The left has overstepped its reach. They have violated the most sacred American law, the cornerstone of freedom, the First Amendment. John Bowne reporting.